Today's class is Diseases of Lymph Nodes Part 1. Various causes of enlargement of lymph nodes. A. Inflammatory. B. Neoplastic. C. Lymphatic leukemia. And D. Autoimmune disorders. First, we will see the inflammatory causes. It's of three types. 1. Acute lymphadenitis. 2. Chronic lymphadenitis. 3. Granulomatous lymphadenitis. Under inflammatory, the first one is acute lymphadenitis. It's due to acute inflammation of the drainage area. The regional lymph nodes become acutely inflamed and the condition is known as acute lymphadenitis. The affected lymph nodes become enlarged, painful and tender. The overlying skin becomes warm, red and browny edematous. There is a varying degree of pyrexia in patients with periodontitis. It is present in all severe forms. The lymph nodes are matted together. Next is chronic lymphadenitis. The drainage area of the affected red part should be examined. In the cervical group, oral sepsis, recurrent bouts of tonsillitis, and lesions of the scalp are the common causes. In the groin, besides infected cuts and ulcers, walking on bare and cracked feet, lymph node is enlarged. Biopsy reveals hyperplasia of the reticuloendothelial cells which replace the lymphoid tissue. The sinuses of both medullary and peripheral are dilated and filled with endothelial cells. The third one is granulomatous lymphadenitis. The etiological agents may be bacterial, viral or fungal. Examples include 1. Bacterial origin, tuberculosis, syphilis, tularemia, brucellosis, etc. Second one, viral origin, lymphogranuloma venereum, cat scratch disease, infectious mononucleosis, etc. Third one, parasitological origin, filaria and toxoplasmosis. Filaria is due to infestation of Wuchereria bronchophyti. Fourth one, fungal origin, blastomycosis, histoplasmosis, coccidioidomycosis, etc. The next cause is neoplastic. It's of two types, benign and malignant. Benign almost non-existent and malignant is of two types that we all know, primary and secondary. In that, first we will discuss about primary malignant. Two types of classification are seen in these, old and new. First we will see the old classification. The old classification include 1. Giant follicle lymphoma, 2. Lymphosarcoma, 3. Reticulum cell sarcoma, 4. Hodgkin's disease. New classification. Primary malignant lymphomas can be broadly classified into two groups. This classification is based on types of proliferation that malignant lymphomas exhibit during their evolution. 1. Diffuse lymphomas and 2. Nodular lymphomas. Next classification is based on cell types. They are 1. Malignant lymphoma undifferentiated type, 2. Malignant lymphoma histocytic type, 3. Malignant lymphoma lymphocytic type poorly differentiated, 4. Malignant lymphoma lymphocytic type well differentiated, 5. Malignant lymphoma mixed type histocytic lymphocytic, 6th one malignant lymphoma Hodgkin's type. It's of again four types. A. Lymphocytic predominance, B. Nodular sclerosis, C. Mixed cellularity, and D. Lymphocytic depletion type. The second one is secondary malignant. They are metastatic lymph node enlargement. It is often seen from carcinoma, malignant melanoma, or rarely from sarcoma of the draining region. Next is D. Autoimmune disorders. Examples 1. Juvenile rheumatoid arthritis. It's also called Still's disease. Second example, other collagen diseases such as systemic lupus erythematosus, that is SLE, polyarthritis nodosa, and scleroderma. Causes of generalized lymph node enlargement include tuberculosis, syphilis in secondary stage, infectious mononucleosis, sarcoidosis, brucellosis, toxoplasmosis, Hodgkin's disease, lymphosarcoma, lymphatic leukemia, etc. Next, we will discuss about special investigations which are required to find out the cause of lymph node enlargement. First one, blood. Blood routine examination. It is essential for A. Lymphocytosis, particularly seen in acute lymphadenitis. B. Lymphocytosis, which is seen in tuberculosis, lymphatic leukemia, etc. C. Raised ESR, erythrocyte sedimentation rate, which is again seen in tuberculosis, secondary carcinoma, lymphosarcoma, etc. D. WR and Khan test used to detect syphilis. WR indicate Weissenman reaction. It is the first blood test used in syphilis. It's named after the bacteriologist August Paul von Weissenman. Khan test, it is the serum diagnostic technique used in syphilis. E. Microfilaria in the peripheral blood vessels when the patient is sleeping. Next investigation type is aspiration of the abscess. It is essential for diagnosis of cold abscess or lymphogranuloma inguinale. In cold abscess, one will look for acid-fast bacilli B positive. Ferris intradermal test. It is specific for lymphogranuloma inguinale. Next test is Montague's test and Guinea-pig inoculation test. These are specific for tuberculosis. 4. Gordon's biological test. It is specific for Hodgkin's disease. An emulsion of the affected lymph nodes is injected into a rabbit intracerebrally. This will initiate encephalitis within a few days. Fifth one is biopsy. This is probably the most important special investigation. Many cases may not be diagnosed clinically, and with the help of the above special investigations, biopsy should be called for in these cases. Under local or general anesthesia, the isolated or matted lymph nodes are excised and examined, both macroscopically and microscopically. Sixth one, radiological examination. In case of cervical lymph nodes, X-ray chest is essential not only to find out enlargement of mediastinal lymph nodes but also to detect pulmonary tuberculosis or bronchogenic carcinoma as the cause of enlargement of cervical lymph nodes. Calcified tuberculous lymph nodes may easily be seen in X-ray film, but tomography will be essential to know particularly about the mediastinal lymph nodes. Next investigation is mediastinal scanning, with gallium-67 is sometimes performed to know whether the mediastinal lymph nodes are involved or not. Eighth one is laparotomy. This is required not only to know the clinical staging of the disease by wedge biopsy of the liver and by biopsy of the aortic, mesenteric, iliac nodes and a small chip biopsy from the iliac bone, but also by splenectomy, as the spleen is involved in about 90% of cases of the abdominally involved Hodgkin's disease, and to obviate splenic irradiation due to its complications. Thank you for listening. See you in the next class.